Hi, my name is Rukis, and in this episode we're looking at the first draft of the SEED Pioneers sign-up process. So this was shared recently on the SEED Discord, which is always your best place to get the latest information about the game. And keep in mind this process is still being designed, but at least now we have some guidelines that we can use. So first, the sign-up process will be open to anyone, but it's been said multiple times that those on the Discord community that have been active and participated in the discussions and maybe part of groups will have the first opportunity to play in the alpha. Second, applicants will be required to sign up as part of a group. So there will be several servers running, one for each group, and the indication has been around 50 players per group or per server to make sure there's enough activity and enough interaction to justify making a server available for the group. So third, Klang will work with established groups and their leadership to make sure that somebody cannot steal your group name. This is not even something I thought to have been possible, but it makes complete sense. So if you want to reserve your group name or you want to make sure that your group is represented, best would be to register on the group recruitment channel on the Discord and make sure your group is represented there. So fourth, bigger groups may be required to split into several smaller groups depending on the size of your group currently. I know there are organizations out there with hundreds of players, so those will have to subdivide into smaller groups to make sure there's enough players for a server, but also not too many that it becomes unmanageable. This might be run through the registration process, where you would need a specific email or a password to become a member of a group and to join in the play for that group, but this is still being finalized, so closer to the day we'll get clarification on how this will work specifically and how you will be able to ensure that only your players can join your group in the alpha, and make sure that you have some control over that process. So 5, there may still be an opportunity for you to create your own group when this has been launched in the alpha, if you don't have enough players, but the requirement will have to be that you need to get enough eligible players together to have a big enough group for Klang to make a server available for your group specifically. And the guideline has been around 50 players, but again we'll get confirmation of this closer to the launch day. So number 6, not everybody will be able to start playing at exactly the same time. So this is a alpha rollout, and Klang are going to start small and work from there, build it up slowly. So it might be that you need to wait a little bit longer, even if you were the first to register your group or you're the first to participate. But again, this will be done in a fair and reasonable way to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to play if they meet the minimum requirements for a group. So 7, established groups will get the opportunity to play first, but the order of play for each group will be determined randomly, and this makes sense. It's fair and reasonable for everybody, and Klang don't want to be seen as playing favorites to specific groups, but everybody will get an opportunity to play, some a little bit sooner, some a little bit later. And then 8, there's a couple of things just to keep in mind. First, it's an alpha, so things will definitely go wrong, and when they do, all play may need to be suspended while Klang are figuring out the bugs and making sure there's a proper fix for whatever went wrong, and we need to be patient with that. Second, some things may work, others may not. It's one thing to design the game mechanics, and it's another thing when players start interacting with it. Certain assumptions have probably been made in how the game will work, and it's only when the players are in that community and playing and doing things that the developers didn't think we would do or whatever, so they will need to go and rethink, go back to the drawing board, and we need to be respectful of that and give constructive feedback about what we like, what we don't like, what's working, what's not working, and then they will consider that and decide if they need to make changes to the game mechanics. And third, they being first is nice, but you have to keep in mind that if you are first, you will probably get hit with the most bugs and the most delays and the most interruptions. So there's advantages and disadvantages to being the first group playing on this alpha. So finally, Klang have said repeatedly that nothing is cast in stone, and so these guidelines are bound to change. So we need to keep an open mind with that. But there's 3 things we should remember. First, we need to be patient. We need to be respectful of the game and what's happening. And third, we need to be constructive if we have criticism and feedback. But there's a lot more discussion about that coming up later as we get closer to playing in the alpha and being able to sign up our groups and registering for this great game. So that's it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Support me on Patreon if you are willing, and otherwise I'll see you again at the next video. Cheers.